What's up, Bear family? Coming back to you guys live with another tutorial. We're going to do a quick tutorial. Hopefully we're going to keep this one under 4 to 5 minutes. We're just going to do a brief overview in reference to these audio filters, basically looking at how to make your live stream or content creation on YouTube better for everyone, yourself, your audience, anybody who comes across your videos, everything. So we're going to do a quick dive into these so you guys know what settings you should be using, what settings if you're not using you definitely want to get added, and if you're already using them, fantastic, you definitely probably don't need this tutorial. So for specific filters, let's go ahead and work on getting an audio input added here. We're going to leave it as a default setting. Then we're going to go ahead and go to our microphone here. So as you can see, no filters on the microphone right now. As you can see, it continues to peak here on our screen into the red as we're discussing, which is what will actually happen if you don't utilize any filters. Filters being, compressor, noise gate, noise suppression, limiter. Those are the 4 specific filters that we're actually going to be looking at today. Now, what these filters are going to do for you, your noise suppression is basically a filter that could be used to remove mild background noise, basically any white noises that may be from any of your audio sources, as well as it could be referencing anything among the room. Like, let's say you have a very loud fan in your computer. You're definitely going to want to have that noise suppression on there. So let's go ahead and go into the actual settings widget. We're going to go to the filters. We're going to go ahead and add these. Now, adding them in order of what we're going to talk about here, we're going to go ahead and we're going to get the noise suppression added. Now, this one is already set to 30 dB for the noise suppression. Now, again, what it is going to do specifically is help remove that background noise. So clicking on your keyboard, clicking on the controller if you're using a controller, again, the fan from your PC, I mean, hell, your neighbor's outside mowing the lawn, it's going to prevent that audio from being picked up. We're going to leave this at the default setting because obviously the setting is going to be specific to the user and your environment, so you're going to want to keep that in mind. Moving forward to the next filter, we're going to be looking at specifically a noise gate. Now, not to be confused with noise suppression, a noise gate is a specific cutoff. So basically, as we can see, the close and open threshold. Basically, anything that is below 32 decibels will not be picked up on your microphone and broadcasted to your live stream or your content creation. Anything that peaks above 26 decibels will open that threshold and allow your voice to come through. So that open threshold, especially if you have a soft voice, is something you absolutely want to toy with and make sure you're getting the overall best option possible, so you're not actually cutting out your audio. That is a huge thing to take into consideration. Now, your attack time, hold time, and release time, you can leave these at default unless you would like to adjust them. The attack time is going to be referencing like when that threshold kicks in and turns off, or for instance releases and comes back to being on. So again, you're going to be looking at playing with these specific settings to fit your specific user needs and your environment. Now, that being said, moving on to the next filter we're going to be looking at, we're going to go ahead and add a compressor. Now, having the compressor added here specifically, again, with any of these, we are going to be looking at the general default settings, because even if you just use a default, it's going to make a significant difference. However, given, as I mentioned before, if you have a soft voice, low voice, or even for instance a voice that doesn't carry, and you don't have your mic close to you, you're really going to want to toy with these, because optimal performance for your microphone when you are live streaming or content creation is having your microphone anywhere between 6 to 8 inches from your face. If you can have it a little bit closer, great, but 6 to 8 is going to be comfortable for it not being in your field of view, so that you can actually play your game well, or for instance, show somebody how to use a specific software, everything. Now, with the compressor being added, what the compressor is essentially designed for is 2 specific things. One, as you're talking, it's actually compressing, for instance, audio to make your overall volume of your voice sound better than everything else, but also at the same time, this little feature down here that says sidechain or ducking sources, this can actually be used to attack specific sources. Sources mean, let's say, if we had an audio device added here. So if we have the audio option right here, we're just pretending. Basically, we would go here to the sidechain. You would see, let's say, default audio. We would click that, or desktop audio, I apologize. Now, with that, basically what it would do is anytime you talk, it's immediately going to cut down the audio from that specific source, that source being your desktop audio. So basically, instead of it being at the full 100% volume, it's going to reduce it down to 30% volume, so that even if you're in a super intense fight, or for instance you're watching a movie, for instance, or like this YouTube video in the background, and it's at a really loud scene, so to speak, all it's going to do is it's going to reduce the overall volume of that specific source, so that your voice continues to carry out smoothly, clearly, and without any, for instance, conflict. It's basically not fighting for first place anymore. So that is a great thing for content creators, in my opinion, especially for live streaming, because it will automatically do that reduction, and then once you stop talking, all the volumes go right back to normal. Therefore, those moments when you're fighting and you're not talking, everybody can hear everything clearly. As soon as you do start talking, that again is where it goes into effect, and then we'll immediately reduce basically anything you have attached to the sidechain or ducking. Now, that covers everything for compressor. Now, basically what we're going to be moving to next is a limiter. Now, a lot of people forget to use a limiter. However, a limiter is really a fantastic item to have. So you remember when we first pulled up, we're going to leave this here at the default settings for the 6 dB, because again, environment specific, you're going to have to toy with these to figure out, you know, where you want them. The limiter, realistically, you don't need to adjust. I don't care what environment you're in. What this is designed to do is immediately take effect at 6 decibels. So right here, as we can see, here's 5 decibels. We can go ahead and we can move this up, limiter up to, for instance, 9 decibels right before it gets to red here. Just for this tutorial real quick, what the limiter does is it's designed to prevent your microphone from popping, getting distorted, having basically too much power, so to speak. So right now where we have the actual limiter, it is not going to allow me to go above that 9.1 decibels. Therefore, I am never kicking into the red zone. Therefore, the audio is always coming through at a maximum of 10 decibels, which is perfect, because that yellow area is where you want to be for your audio. Now, if you were to, for instance, scream or anything, it's not going to allow more than 10 decibels, for instance, or in this case, 9.1 decibels of audio come through. So it stays super crisp, super clear, and you don't have any crackling of your audio, nothing. A limiter is a huge, and I mean huge, thing for you to get added into your audio input capture device. Now, those are the 4 basics in reference to what we're looking at for the filters that you want to take full advantage of, so that obviously you have that better quality. Looking at them again, we have the noise suppression, we have the noise gate, a compressor, and a limiter. Now, you do want to absolutely make sure that your limiter is not added until the very end, and definitely after you have already added your compressor. Now, that in mind, hopefully this helps out, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this stream was recorded with all of this already set up on my other software, so that's why my audio is coming through just fine. So definitely make sure you're toying with these. Again, when you're looking at those filters specifically, you want to make sure you toy with the noise gate and the noise suppression level specifically to base it off of your environment. If you didn't change the compressor or the limiter, that is okay. I would recommend changing the limiter based off of your voice, as well as the compressor is something to definitely work on, primarily if you're going to be using that sidechain or ducking. But hopefully you guys like this quick tutorial in regards to the audio. I do want to thank you guys very much for hanging out with us, watching the tutorial, helping our YouTube channel grow. If you guys do want to catch me live or have any questions in regards to utilizing the streaming software services, or even, for instance, the actual software in general, I do typically stream every actually Friday through Tuesday on Twitch. You can catch me at Sir Papa Bear Francis. I'm the only one, so pretty easy to find now that we changed the name over. So I do want to thank you guys very much. So again, you guys hopefully have yourself a great night, and I'll see you guys the next time when we have another video up.